This is the author saying, we finally got to chapter 4. This is where it gets the most interesting, so y'all pay attention. This is where all the fun starts. Alright, here we go. Chapter 4. I started trying the dream, and I was saying, please take me to Aristia. I looked down and I saw my amulet do a quick sparkle, and it was like a flash. I appeared on what looked like the balcony of the princess's room. It was night, and it was kind of dark in her room. Suddenly the moon came out and illuminated the room, and there she was, sleeping like an angel. Standing there watching her sleep, I forgot how beautiful she really was. I got really nervous, and then I heard her talk in her sleep. Joshua, no. Then a tear fell down her face. I wiped the tear from her face and said, Aristia, wow, you sure did miss me a lot. Her face suddenly got really red. She slowly opened her eyes. She got up out of bed. Joshua! I answered, yes. The moonlight reflected off of me, and then she walked up to me. You are so stupid. She grabbed hold of me and held me to her tightly. She started crying and hit my chest. You left. I thought you were never coming back. You're my best friend. I know how you feel, Aristia. She looks at me, smiling. Well, I guess you will be here every time you go to sleep at night. I said, yep, seems that way, and smiled. I said, well, I guess I will let you go back to sleep. No, Joshua, I can't go back to sleep now. You will have to stay up with me all night. Joshua, this is so amazing. This has never happened before. There has not been anyone from the other world in 500 years, and you're the first to come back. Aristia, can you tell me about the first person to come to your world? Joshua, I only know stories. My mom told me my great-great-grandmother met a man from your world. He was a young man in his early 20s. My grandmother never met a man like him before. She's roughly the same, maybe a little older. She was a queen at that time and had a lot of responsibility at that time. The demons were attacking a lot of people in their dreams, even taking possession. The only one who could stop the evil spirits was the queen and her guardians. The man from your world came to help the queen fight the demons that were attacking people in their dreams. The man rode a white horse, and they saved a lot of people. Okay, Aristia, how did she help all of the people, everybody in the whole world who has dreams? Well, Joshua, a demon can enter 100,000 dreams looking for the one they can take over all at once. They are not actually there, but they look through them to find the right one. It was a queen's job to find it and destroy it before it does some real damage to people. The man and the queen quickly fell in love, but the man did not love her enough after he woke up and never returned again. The queen was hurt, and her heart was broken. He was the only person she could not visit a dream. She said it was because she fell in love with the man. She could not see his dream. She said it must be forbidden love. I thought the power of love was the most powerful thing in the world. Aristia says, it is with the right person. Aricia, you have not mentioned your mother to me at all. What was she like? Joshua, she was kind and very beautiful, but she gave her life for the world to get rid of a very powerful demon. It was I was 5, and I called for my mom, and tears start rolling down her face. She told my father she didn't have a choice. I was angry at my father for letting her do this. My father told me she would have done it even if he told her not to, because that's how she was. I remember the day she came and told me goodbye. She came in my room and told me she was going away for a very long time. She gave me a very long hug and then kissed me on the forehead and said, "I love you, darling. Aricia, continue to be a sweet little girl for your daddy." "Yes, Mama," I said, and it was almost like I knew what was going on. I could see the tears in my mother's eyes as she left. She took one last look at me before she left. I watched her walk out to the garden, to a circle where the moonflowers are now. Her body started glowing golden yellow, and then 12 glowing orbs appeared around the circle. She looked up at me. Then her body disappeared and shot off in the north direction towards the dark forest, where the orbs got to the forest, and a bright light filled the forest and the entire land. And the only thing that remained was the moonflowers bushes where the orbs were. Aricia, I'm sorry. I put my head down. I didn't know. It's okay, Joshua. You were going to ask me eventually anyways. Joshua, I wanted to go out to the circle that night. I was hoping my mother could see us. That's why I love the garden. It feels like she is there with me. Time passed by, and we talked almost all night. But sometime in between, we fell asleep. I fell asleep in the chair next to her bed, and she fell asleep on her pillow. The morning came, and we woke up to a knock on the door. "Hello, Princess. This is Madam Chelsea. Are you feeling better?" She yells out, "Good heavens! That boy has returned. I must let Garrett know, but first, wake up, Mr. Joshua." I open my eyes, and Madam Chelsea is looking at me. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me." "It's okay. Just get out of here for now." So again, I climb down the balcony, and I think to myself, this is becoming more of a habit. I yell to Aricia, I'll see you in a minute." "Okay," Aricia says. "But hurry, alright?" When I got to the ground, I quickly ran around to the entrance to the castle. I was running really fast when I came to a sudden halt when Mr. Garrett met me at the entrance. "So, boy, you did return. Do you know it took 5 minutes to calm Madam Chelsea down after she seen you asleep by her bed in her room?" Mr. Garrett puts his hand on my shoulder. "Looks like there is a lot we need to talk about, Joshua. I will teach you everything I know about being a guardian, and one day you will be a strong warrior. Now that you will be coming back every time I'm going to give you a special weapon." This weapon is a sword that gets stronger by the person's heart. He pulled out this sword and it gave it to me, that had a heart made of gold on the handle. It also had 2 small silver hearts on each side of the handle. It was a medium-sized short sword, but when he handed it to me, it turned about the size of a dagger. Mr. Garrett laughs. Don't feel bad. You just have to grow your heart. Joshua had a disappointed look on his face. You know, I was expecting the sword to grow huge. Joshua, you may not know it, but it also, your body will get stronger. As strong as the sword is, that's how strong you are. Think of the sword as a welcome back gift to our world. Thank you, Mr. Garrett. I will become stronger. I have no doubts of that, Joshua. Okay, are you ready to do something fun, Joshua? Sure. What are we going to do? I was thinking let's go swimming. Joshua got excited. That sounds like a lot of fun. Someone from behind said, yes, I simply love swimming. Oh, hello, Joshua. I didn't know you were here. Mr. Garrett looks at the princess. By the way, you're a bad liar. I already heard about what happened from Madame Chelsea. Aricia changes the subject. Well, aren't you glad he's here? Indeed, Princess, let's go to the lake. To the south of the kingdom, about a mile away, there is a huge lake with a river feeding it. The river falls off into the lake from a hill overlooking the lake. It was a nice sunny day and the lake seemed to shine. I thought to myself, good thing I wore some orange shorts and a regular blue t-shirt. I look off in the distance and see the 2-foot dragonflies playing on the water. Then Aricia calls and yells out to one of them, Serenity, come here, I want you to meet somebody. One of the things turns and comes flying across the water at high speed, leaving a wave of water in its path. I said out loud, what is that? Aricia says, Joshua, it's okay. She's my friend. Princess Aricia, Garrett, and the boy. Oh, this is Joshua you were talking about. Aricia's face turns red. I wasn't talking about him that much. Serenity laughs. Oh, you talked about 2 days about him. No, I didn't. You're a big fibber. Aricia looks at me for a moment and then she turns red in her face. Serenity flies up close to my face. You're right. He is cute for a boy. Aricia yells, Serenity, stop saying things like that. Serenity gives me a little wink. You know, I'm a princess too. Aricia's face suddenly turns to a frown. Serenity, that's enough of that. Serenity replies, oh, and you're jealous too? Oh, you do like him a lot. I could see Aricia's face get redder and redder. Garrett speaks up. Okay, girls, that's enough. Okay, I'm sorry, Aricia. I've never seen a human boy before, either. You're right. Aricia agrees. I'd be acting the same way. Serenity asked me, well, Joshua, do you like swimming? Yep, I sure do, I replied. I asked Serenity questions. Serenity, are you a fairy? Nope, she said. Okay, then what are you? I'm a guardian and a friend of the princess. And what, with a giggle, are you to the princess? Aricia looks at me after she says that question and waits for an answer. Aricia sighs. We were just friends. Serenity laughs. Okay, I see the way you look at each other. It's young love. I say without thinking, with a smile. Well, I guess so, and then I jump in the water. Aristia gasped while I was jumping in the water. Joshua, what did you say? At that time, my head went under the water, and I stayed under the water for a minute. While I was under the water, I heard a splash. Aristia dived in. I lifted my head out of the water. I looked around and could not see Aristia anywhere, but I know I saw her dive in. Then a cold, soft hand touched my shoulder. I turned around and she was floating behind me in the air. She was wearing a one-piece bathing suit that looked like a dress but water-friendly. Then she dropped back in the water. I dove under the water and chased after her. When I opened my eyes in the water, it was so clear. You could see the bottom. You could see fish every size, small ones, big ones, tiny ones, all in schools. I could see coral on the bottom of the floor. But the funny thing is, it's not salt water. She swims so fast, I can barely keep up with her. I came up for air, and Garrett yells out from the shore, Okay, I'm going fishing. Looks like y'all got it under control. Garrett laughs and heads around to the other end of the river. Aristia comes out of the water. Joshua, come and follow me under the water. Joshua, why do you keep coming up out of the water? I answered, to get a breath of air. Aristia said, Joshua, why are you holding your breath? You can breathe underwater. Joshua said, surprised, Really? In my world, we have to hold our breath before going underwater. Joshua, now that we got that out of the way, I want to show you the cave under the water. I said, all right, let's go to this cave. Aristia smiles. Okay, Joshua, follow me. She dives under the water and starts swimming down towards the bottom. I dive in after her. I take a breath of air under the water to test what she said. I can breathe. That was amazing. The rules are so much different. I was trying to keep up with her, but she was swimming so fast. Then I hear someone dive in behind me. Serenity grabs my hand and drags me underwater towards the cave. Aristia turns around and sees Serenity holding my hand and swims back and grabs my other hand, and we swim together in the cave. As we are going through the cave, we see all different kinds of shiny crystals like emeralds, greens, reds, and other colors. I was thinking to myself, I wish I could bring some home with me, but I don't think Aristia would like that very much. We are deep in the cave now, and we come to a closed cavern with one hole at the top of the cave. We stand in the circle in the sand in the grotto, right underneath the hole in the top of the cave. We'd hold hands, and then suddenly Aristia smiles, and she looks up. So then I look up, and the clouds were kind of blocking the sunlight. Then the clouds completely moved away, and at first it starts out as a little glimmer of light shining down. The light begins reflecting off the sand, and as the sunlight gets bigger, the light changes the sand to all different colors. Then the sand reflects the light at the crystals and gives the crystals a rainbow color. It was truly a sight to be seen. We begin swimming up towards the hole in the cave. When we finally come up out of the water, I realize I am about 50 feet from the waterfall. The light from the sun made a rainbow reflecting off the waterfall. I guess That's what made the rainbow's color. We swim back to the shore, and I catch my breath. Aricia laughed. Joshua, did you have fun? Yes, I never breathed underwater in the cave. No, in the cave. Oh, yes, that was cool too. Joshua, what is the meaning of cool? Oh, cool means the same thing as really awesome. In our world, cool means cold. Joshua laughs. Aricia looks at Joshua. What's so funny? Oh, nothing, Aricia, just nothing. Serenity sighs. I don't get it either, Aricia. It must be their world thing. Then both girls start laughing. Garrett comes walking towards us from the other side of the lake. Hey, what's so funny? I don't know. Ask Joshua. Then they continue laughing. Garrett asks Joshua, so what's the joke? I don't know. I just forgot. Then we all start laughing even louder. Joshua says to everybody, I hope we can have more fun times like this. Aricia smiles. Yes, Joshua, that is my wish as well. Garrett says to everybody, well, what do y'all want to do next? Aricia says out loud, what about a campfire? We can sleep underneath the stars. Garrett says, well, sounds like a plan. I said, wait, I thought we could not stay outside. Aricia says, Joshua, it's okay. There's a very powerful wall that no evil creature can break through. Plus, Mr. Garrett and Serenity are here with you, and me together, nothing can hurt us. Garrett says out loud, let's go find some firewood. We all spread out to find some tree limbs and kindling that was on the ground. We put the small limbs in dead grass, then we put the tree logs around the kindling in a teepee formation. After that, Mr. Garrett got out some flint and started the fire. The fire grew really bright. You can hear the wood crackle in the campfire. It was kind of cold but that night, so everybody got close to the fire, and yet it was quiet night. Garrett went back to the castle and brought back 4 blankets, 1 big blanket and 3 to lay on the ground, and the 3 for us to sleep with. When Mr. Garrett got back, we decided to go to bed. Well, rather, Garrett told us to. Suddenly, we hear a large crack in the woods. Aricia says out loud, what was that? It was almost morning, but the sun has not come up yet. Mr. Garrett wakes up quickly and pulls out his sword from his scabbard. Garrett yells out, Joshua, take the princess and run back to the castle. Joshua goes to reach for his dagger. No, Joshua, leave with the princess now. You are not ready for this fight. The sky turned orange as the sun was coming up. They see off in the distance something big and huge coming towards him. Aricia yells, what is that thing? The big demon yells out, I have come to take the princess. I could see him more clearly now. He had razor-sharp teeth, claws, and drool coming out of his mouth. The demon starts running very fast towards Mr. Garrett. I grab the princess' hand and start running towards the castle. Garrett says, yes, keep running and don't look back. I look back real quick just to see Serenity sneak up behind him and strike him with the sword, but it did nothing. Then he swatted her away into the dirt. My chest started hurting, or was it my heart? Aristia was crying and trying not to look back. We were almost to the castle, and Aristia looked back at the fight. Aristia screams out, "Garrett, no!" I look at Aristia to see a frightened look on her face. Then I look at what she's looking at, and I see Mr. Garrett barely holding off the teeth of the monster. It was about to eat him. Aristia says sadly, "I can't run and watch him die." My body started pulsating, and I was no longer afraid. "Aristia," I said in a deep voice, "stay here." I grabbed my dagger, and it became a sword. I started running towards the demon. All I could think about was Aristia, Garrett, and Serenity. I can't let them die. Suddenly, my body got lighter, and I felt such enormous strength. "That boy thinks he can defeat me?" the demon snarled. The demon gasped, "What is going on? That's not a boy. What is he?" Garrett backs off. "Well, time for me to go. Good luck, monster." I yell out, "I am not gonna let you hurt my friends." The demon swings at me, and I jump above him. I yell out one more thing, "Leave my friends alone." And like a bolt of lightning, I swing my sword down on the monster. There was a huge flash of light, and the monster was turned to dust, leaving only a crater in the ground. Aristia had a horrified look on her face, looking at Joshua. Aristia finally said something. "Joshua, you're not human." Aristia put her hands over her face and cries out, "What are you, Joshua?" Joshua says, "I don't know what happened. I lost my memory. I can't remember. I felt my body get lighter and stronger, and then I was standing beside the crater." Aristia said, I'm sorry. It's okay. I was scared. I thought I lost you, because that was not you." "Joshua, just promise me you won't do that again." "I'm sorry, Aristia, but I can't make you that promise." Mr. Garrett calls to Aristia, "Aristia, come here. I want to talk to you." So Aristia goes and takes a walk with him, and they talk for a while. In the meantime, I go to Serenity and see if she is okay. I say her name a couple of times, and she opens her eyes. I pull her up and walk her back towards the castle, so the people can take care of her. Aristia and Mr. Garrett start walking back towards us. Aristia now has a smile on her face. Aristia starts running up towards me, and then gives me a big hug. "Joshua, thank you for saving me and my friends. I am sorry I was so rude to you earlier. I know you were just trying to help. You know, Aristia, I'm glad to have just seen you smiling again." I smile at her, and she smiles back. Garrett catches up with us. "Joshua, that was an amazing job you did back there, but you need to control it." "Mr. Garrett, I can't remember that much of the fight. I remember wanting to help. Then I got stronger, and that was the last thing I remember." "Joshua, that's because your heart was stronger than you were." "Then that doesn't make much sense to me, but okay." Instead, I was just caring for Aristia and cared for everybody and caused the sword, and then I gained tremendous strength. Even if I could have never guessed how much strength you had," Mr. Garrett said. Serenity speaks up. Well, I guess that means you are a hero. Serenity looks at Joshua. I guess since you saved me, I should give you a kiss. Serenity, Aristia's face gets red. Now, no one's kissing anybody. Oh wow, Aristia, you are jealous and protective too. Man, that boy does mean a lot to you. Serenity kisses Joshua on the cheek. Thank you. Then my other cheek got wet, and Aristia kissed me too. Garrett laughs. Oh, to be young again. You lucky boy. Serenity's face turned red, as did Aristia's. Aristia looked at Serenity. I'm not gonna lose to you. Got that? Joshua looks at the two girls. Lose at what? Joshua asked. Both girls turned to Joshua and both said at the same time, Nothing, stupid boy. And the two girls began laughing. I said to Garrett, I just don't get it. Garrett laughs. Well, my boy, maybe someday you will. We had a lot of fun times in the other world. I continue to train with my sword, so I will be ready if I will ever need it again. 1 whole year passed by. I was 9 and Aristia was 10 now. It was December and almost Christmas. That was the end of chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Things are going to start getting more interesting from here on out. Alright, if you like that video, please subscribe and share it. Have a good day.